Hi guys, I'm back for the second video in my premiere series. Um, excuse the quality of the video and sound because I'm not going to invest in a camera or sound system to do these videos. I don't intend to monetize this channel, at least not yet. And so let's go. I mentioned that I wanted to describe my experience opening a commercial bank account in Ukraine. Um, so I recently switched occupations. I now am a SEO copywriter, which means search engine optimizer. Basically, what it means is that I specialize in writing things that go to the top of Google's list and Bing and any of the other search engines. So I'm not an expert. I'm just sort of still learning the job, but it really isn't that difficult. What it amounts to is dealing with AI because when you submit an article, there's not a committee of Google representatives who, assess your article and rate it or anything. It's an AI algorithm. And as many of you might know, AI has an intellect of about an 8-year-old child. So that's what I'm dealing with, an 8-year old AI child. Anyway, this isn't about that. This is about opening a bank account, commercial bank account. Um, don't be afraid if you come to Ukraine to open a bank account because a private account is so much easier. It's very similar to opening one in your own home country, at least America. I can't speak for every country. I haven't had a bank account everywhere, but um, it's pretty straightforward. 20 minutes and you're done. You have your account and you're out the door with your debit card in your hand. Commercial bank account is somewhat different because the tax system is different in Ukraine, you see. In America, um, we tell our employers how much to deduct from each paycheck, and that goes to the IRS. And at the end of the year, you do a calculation to see if you overpaid or underpaid. And if you, in most cases, you overpay, and so you get a tax refund. And yes, it's possible that governments do give money back sometimes. Or if you've paid too little, you have to make up that difference too. Well, in Ukraine, it's a total different ballgame. Employers hire you, they pay you a set salary, and then they pay the taxes on top of that, which means they have to have a company bookkeeper, which means you have to, in my case, I had to go get an electronic signature. Now, I've never heard of one before. I didn't know what it was. It's not that complicated, but basically, you can use it to sign documents and send them by internet, and it's a legal thing. So you get an electronic signature, and the company bookkeeper pays your taxes. They think it's more secure, but I don't see it that way. you know, um, if a question ever comes up about my taxes, I can just say, "What's an electronic signature?" I don't know anything about that. I've never seen it. I never touched it, never held it in my hand. So, in America, if we were to have such a thing, we would sign a power of attorney specifically for a bookkeeper to sign her name or his name to your taxes. They wouldn't have power to sign anything else but just those documents. But that's too complicated. So we had to go get an electronic signature created. And I had an assistant named Taras, a very nice guy, speaks excellent English, and we were caught in traffic jams and stuff all day, and we had a wonderful talk. Anyway, the experience with the bank. For some reason, I don't know if they're trying to impress me because I'm a foreigner or if it's standard procedure or what. But in my case, they made an appointment with the bank president. And the first thing that crossed my mind is, well, if the bank president has to greet each new customer and open their account personally, then he doesn't have enough to do. It's not prestigious for me. I'm a simple person. I don't care about bank presidents. But anyway, we walked into the lobby of the bank and told them our intentions. And I hate this part. It happens with any bureaucracy you deal with. The first thing is they have to identify you. And I passed my passport over to this chubby blonde 20-something girl with an attitude. They always have an attitude. I don't know why. And she's, Xerox copied my passport and then started flipping through it. And I knew it was coming next. She asked, "Where's your registration?" And again, I had to explain that Americans don't have registration. We don't register. Here in Ukraine, you have to register your address, and your name is like tied to that address for your life or something. I'm not sure exactly how or why it works. It's a leftover legacy from the Soviet Union. So all post-Soviet countries have a system similar to that, I guess. Anyway, she asked me where all of my stamps were, and I told her it's a new passport. You're not going to find any stamps. You can flip through it as long as you want, but there's nothing there, and I don't have to explain to you why. So after we got past little Miss Blondie with her attitude, we were introduced to the bank president. How did that go? Well, she doesn't speak English, first of all, so that is why Taras was there. Let's see. She also had to look up my passport and flip through it and understand that there's nothing to see. So I don't know why everybody has to look through your passport and flip through it and try to look at your stamps and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's like an invasion of privacy to me. But there's nothing in it, so they invaded nothing. So then I guess the big deal was they already had my tax ID number, which is similar to a social security number. And it reminded me in the old days when we had paper checks in America. I guess we still use them. But if you don't want to take the standard design, you have to pay and choose another design with a bear or a flower or whatever printed on the check. And so it was a similar process to get a debit card. They wanted to know what design I wanted and blah, blah, blah. I told them I just want a simple card. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what's printed on it. It can be black, white, green. I don't care. And rather than clarify the situation, that just made it more confusing for them. But anyway, we finally worked past that point. And then it was a matter of, what money do you want? Okay, explain that to me. So apparently you can have hryvnia, which is the local currency, and you can have dollars account tied to that, and a rubles if you want, or euros. And so I said, give me all of them. Does it cost any more money? No. So why are you even asking me this question? Just give me all of them. Sometimes I deal in euros and sometimes in dollars. And of course it's Ukraine, so I deal in hryvnia sometimes. Well, let's see. So, what was the next thing? Oh, she had to explain to me that when my new company is registered in America. So when payday comes, what they do is they send American dollars to the bank. The bank buys them and converts them to grivna. And we got into a little bit of an argument about why that was so. Because if I have a dollar account, why not just transfer it into my dollar account? Because see, what happens is they're going to charge me for converting the money. And then if I want it converted back to dollars, I have to get charged again by whoever does it. So anyway, it makes no sense. It's just a way to get into your pockets. There's nothing you can do about it. And after a while, I just threw up my hands and said, just open the card for me and do that. So everything was squared away and we left the bank. But I asked, how long until I have my debit card and when is my bank account open? They said, oh, about 2 weeks. Well, this is like a week before payday, so, I'm concerned about how I'm going to get paid. When I walked into a different bank, I have a private account too. My card was issued there on the spot without my name on it, but the number is associated with my name. And it was an easy process, and I was good to go. But for some reason, um, it takes 2 weeks to get a commercial card in your hands and open the account. So that was my experience with opening a commercial bank account. Um, if that sounds like a good thing, it's not. Um, you would expect that a commercial account would be a bit more flexible because, well, you don't need to open one unless you're dealing with foreign currency or something like that. Um, but you would think it would be more flexible, but it's less flexible. So, anyway, uh, don't let that stop you from coming to Ukraine and doing business. It's kind of a painful process emotionally and mentally, but really it only took a couple of hours out of my life that I'll never get back. But I'm good to go now with the bank account. And it opens up all kinds of other possibilities. For example, the um, immunization for COVID, the vaccination, is going to be administered through the Bank of Ukraine registration. So OTR has an app that you put, OTR is the name of the bank, OTP. You put on your phone, and through that, one of the features is that you can register for the vaccine, and it's low cost or free. So otherwise, I would probably have to seek it out privately and pay a lot of money, and I still may have to do that. I don't know how it'll go, but we'll see. So I'm going to sign off for now. I have other stories about opening bank accounts back in 2004 when I first got here. It I I told Taras that I haven't had this experience since 2005 when I opened my first bank account. I haven't dealt with a bank that was so backwards. Um, so now you know what to expect. See you next time. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Bye bye.